Hi, welcome to the world of colors. I'm Colors. Today we're going to make Mrs. Flutter. Everybody seems to want to see her video, so we're going to do her today. And this is how she looks. See if I can spin her around there for you. This is Mrs. Flutter here with Mr. Flutter. We made Mr. Flutter last week. And we're going to make Mrs. Flutter today. She's pretty easy to make. And she really doesn't have a long materials list. So that's Mr. and Mrs. Flutter. I also wanted to tell you about Mr. Potman. He's back here. I am going to do him on our next video, but I wanted to give you a heads up on him and maybe you could get some of the materials. This is what Mr. Potman looks like. And he's got these little Dollar Tree pots with the rims on them for his hat and his boots. And then you want to get the dollar store socks that look like this, the brown and two-tone socks. That's how we're going to do him. He's a flower gardener for Gnomesville. So the little tools, the gardening tools that you see, there's 3 of them, come from Amazon. They're little indoor gardening tools. Put the water back there in the pot. There he's watering his pot of flowers. And the gardening tools come from Amazon. You get 3 of them in a package for $6.99. And so I just wanted to give you a heads up on the things that you might need to make him. And I'll be right back to give you the materials list to make Mrs. Flutter. So what we're going to need to do to make Mrs. Flutter is to have these materials. We're going to need these stickers from the Dollar Tree. I took a couple out to make Mr. Flutter. The spring and the little flower on top are from this pack to make Mr. Flutter. We're going to need a couple pieces of fur. The 2.5 inch by 5 inch pieces of fur, 2 of them for her ponytails. And then we're going to need a 7 by 7 inch piece of yellow fleece or yellow felt for her nose. And then at Dollar Tree they have these butterfly headbands for spring. And this is a red and pink and yellow one. That's what we're going to use for her. And then we're going to need a wool sock or a sock similar to this. I'm using one that has the orange band on the bottom, and I'll show you the packaging that those come in. They come like this. They say weatherproof on the front of them, and they're from TJ Maxx. That's where I got these. They have the orange on them. So I promised to tell a commenter that I would tell them where those socks came from this week, and that's where they came from, if you can get those at TJ Maxx. So you want to have some flat marbles and some polyester fiberfill, some rubber bands, and I'm going to blush out her yellow nose. And you're going to need an orange chenille stem for the bows on her ponytails. And other than that, you're just going to need your glue gun, your glue sticks, some hairspray and scissors, and we'll do this project. So I'll be right back. First thing that we want to do to make Mrs. Flutter is to make her body. And she needs about an 8-inch body. So we're going to take our sock and we're going to cut it right above the heel here. This part's going to be left for the hat. So we're going to cut it right above the heel. And keep this aside for the hat. And then we want to put our marbles in the bottom of the sock. And then we're going to fill the sock up with polyester fiberfill. We want to fill it till it's about 8 inches tall and then fasten it with a rubber band. So I'm going to do mine and I'll be right back with you. So I've got my body made up. It's 8 inches tall. I want to cut off some of this extra sock that I have on here down to about 1 inch. About like that. And then I want to go ahead and make the nose next. You want to take some polyester fiber fill and roll it up about the size of the nose that you want it to be. She's got a pretty good sized nose. And put it in the middle of your 7 by 7 inch piece of yellow fleece. And just push it up with your thumb. Like that. And just roll it up with a rubber band. I think I can go one more time on that. And then we want to cut off the extra. Like that. And then we'll glue it on, and then I'll blush it out after I get it glued on there. So I usually find the seam and make that the front of the body, of the seam of the bottom of the sock. So you want to put the glue on there. And glue it right there onto that little stub. And we'll let that set up and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I've got the wings out and I'm ready to put the wings on. The nose is all set up. And want to take the tags off the wing. Got these at Dollar Tree. Spring fling headband. Take those off of there. And then you want to cut off the antennas. We'll put those back on later. And then what you want to do is go ahead and cut about right there. Just cutting a piece out of there. It's a little over 1 inch I just cut out of there. And then we're just going to go ahead and glue the wings on the back of the stub to come down here because she's going to hold a sign. So what we're going to do is just get some glue on here. And put it on the back here. And I'm going to hold that till it sets up. And then I'm going to glue on the other wing and I'll be right back with you. So I've got the arms glued on. I want to go ahead and get that nose blushed out. I'm using a Dollar Tree blush. That works just fine. LA Colors. And get her helps a lot. This is called Toast, the color that I'm using of the blush. And I'm really happy with that. So we want to put the hair on next. And I made the one ponytail up ahead of time. And what we're going to do is take it and comb it down. This is our 2.5 inch by 5 inch piece of fur. And we just want to glue it, roll it up kind of. Put our glue on there. And then just roll it in. And keep doing that till you get to the end. Let that set up a minute. And you want to put a rubber band here at the bottom. And I will spray it with some hairspray. And then we just want to put a little bow on there. Start again here. Put a little bow on there. So now we have both the ponytails made. And what we'll do is we'll get them glued on here to the sides of by the sides of the nose. Just glue them right on there. I'm going to let that set up, and I'm going to glue on the other ponytail, and I'll be right back. So I'm all set now to do the hat. I've got the ponytails all glued on. So you want to take that top part of the sock and turn it inside out. And just gather that in together like that. And rubber band it together. And turn it back out. And that is the top of your hat. And then you just want to let it roll up. Kind of wants to roll up naturally. That rolled up part is where we're going to put the antennas. So we're going to put some polyester fiber fill on there. I think about like that's good. And then what we want to do is glue the sock part of this rim to the nose. You want to be careful you're not gluing the polyester fiber fill to the nose. You want to make sure your glue connects good with your nose. Put your glue right there in the middle of your nose, like that. And take the sock part and glue it down there. Get your nose started going around. And then I'm going to glue the sides and then come back and glue the back right down in the middle of the butterfly wings. down there. Glue it right there, and right here, and here, and right here in the front. I'm going to let this set up for a couple minutes before I continue around the back to get it glued on there. And I'll be right back with you. So she's all ready with the hat glued on to get her antennas glued on. So we'll take the antennas, put some glue on the bottom of them. Put them right in the rim of that hat. Just about like that. Remembering that we're going to put the sticker in the middle here. So you just want to put some glue on the back of that sticker. And place that right there in the middle of the antennas. And then we want to put the perfect sign in her hands, because he's got perfect, it's going to say perfect spring when you put the couple together. It's a perfect spring. So we'll go ahead and get some glue on this sign. And I'm going to let that set up, and I'll be right back with you. So she's finished now, and I want to thank you all for coming and taking the time to join us today and seeing how to make Mrs. Flutter. And make sure to leave us a comment below. We really appreciate the comments. And if you like this video, like it. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe.